Have you ever wondered what it really looks like when one of the biggest companies in the world decides to go all in on automation? I mean, not just in theory, but what the actual plan is. Well, today we're getting a rare look inside that exact kind of blueprint, a plan to unleash a whole army of robots across a massive industrial empire. Let's dive. So take a good look at this. This could very well be the new face of industrial work. And no, this isn't some sci-fi movie prop. This is a real, commercially available humanoid robot, and it's right at the heart of a pretty radical new strategy for manufacturing, for logistics, and for energy. So that's the big question we have to ask, right? Are we looking at the next great leap forward in how our entire world gets built and maintained? Let's find out. Okay, here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the huge challenges a company this size is up against. Then we'll meet the new robotic recruits, see them in action, and break down the numbers to see if it all makes sense. And finally, we'll talk about what this means for the future of automation for everyone. So the company we're looking at is Reliance Industries, a massive conglomerate in India. And to really get why they're turning to robots, you first have to understand the absolutely mind-boggling scale and the very real dangers of what they do every single day. Just try to wrap your head around this number. 1.24 million? That's how many barrels of oil they process every day at just one facility, the Jamnagar refinery, which happens to be the biggest in the world. The sheer complexity there is just immense. And it's not all in one spot. We're also talking about maintaining 136,000 telecom sites scattered all across India. I mean, the logistics of just keeping a network that huge up and running, it's staggering. And operating at this scale has a real human cost. Right now, people have to do inspections in these places. We're talking about dealing with toxic gas, crazy high temperatures, and working in tight spaces or at dangerous heights. It's not just risky, it's also inefficient. It means costly shutdowns for manual checks, and, people make mistakes, so the data isn't always reliable. You can see why they're looking for a better way. And that better way comes in the form of a totally new kind of worker. So let's meet the new recruits. So you've got two main players here. On the left, that's the quadruped, the robot dog. It's a tough, all-terrain machine. And on the right, you've got the humanoid robot, which is built to work in spaces and with tools that were designed for people. These two are the core of this whole automation strategy. You can think of them as specialists. The robot dog is like the unstoppable scout. It's super agile, can handle any terrain, and it can carry a ton of sophisticated sensor gear. The humanoid, though, that's the technician. It's built for dexterity, for grabbing tools, turning valves, and operating machinery just like a human would. All right, so we've met the team. Now let's actually put them to work. We're going to take a quick tour and see exactly what these bots will be doing across 3 totally different environments. First stop is that giant Jamnagar refinery. This place is one of the most complex, most hazardous industrial sites on the entire planet. It's the perfect place to send in a robot that never gets tired and isn't afraid of heights or toxic fumes. So here's the mission. The robot dog starts navigating this maze of pipes, stairs, and metal floors all by itself. As it goes, its thermal cameras are constantly scanning for equipment that's about to overheat, and its gas detectors are sniffing the air for any dangerous leaks. If it finds anything at all, it instantly pings the human operators in the control room. It helps them stop a disaster before it even starts. Okay. From the heat and pipes of the refinery, we're jumping over to the controlled chaos of a modern e-commerce warehouse. The big challenges here are all about speed, accuracy, and just the sheer amount of walking that has to be done. In the warehouse, both robots have a job. The robot dogs can just endlessly patrol the aisles 24/7, using their scanners to get a perfect inventory count. At the same time, the humanoids can work right alongside people, picking items from shelves or processing returns. And get this, the impact is huge. By having robots do all the walking, a human worker can become 2.5 times more productive. For our last stop, we're going out into the field. We're talking about that huge network of 136,000 telecom towers, not to mention massive new solar farms and green hydrogen plants. These are incredibly valuable, often remote, and they need to be watched constantly. The mission here is simple: vigilance. These robot dogs can patrol the base of every single tower, checking for damage or security breaches. They can wander through solar farms looking for cracked panels, they can monitor hydrogen facilities for dangerous leaks, and they can do it all 24/7 in weather from -20 all the way up to 55 degrees Celsius. We're talking conditions that would stop most human crews cold. Okay, this all sounds really cool, but it leads to the billion-dollar question, or maybe not. Is this stuff even affordable? Does deploying a robot army actually make financial sense? Let's look at the numbers. For the longest time, we've all thought of humanoid robots as these million-dollar science projects. But look at this number, $13,560. That's the price tag for that G1 humanoid robot. At less than 14 grand, this tech is suddenly shockingly accessible. And that price tag leads to an absolutely incredible return on investment. Just look at this breakdown. In a refinery, a single robot can save the company up to 150 grand a year, paying for itself in as little as 4 months. Even in a warehouse, that cheap humanoid robot pays for itself in less than a year. The business case isn't just strong, it's a no-brainer. And the impact here goes way beyond just the money. We are talking about an 80% drop in how often a person has to go into a dangerous area, a 70% cut in the time it takes to do inspections, and a nearly unbelievable 95% reduction in the cost of monitoring those telecom sites. These numbers aren't just improvements, they're transformative. So let's zoom out for a second. What does this one super detailed plan from one company tell us about the much bigger wave of automation that's probably coming for all of us? This quote, straight from the planning document, really says it all. We're not talking about a couple of pilot projects here. The potential opportunity inside just this one company is for over 1,000 robots in the next few years. And that really leaves us with one final massive question. If just one company in one country is already making plans for 1,000 robot workforce, what happens when every major industrial company on Earth starts doing the same thing? What does that future even look like?